Well, some would argue this is the deepest division in the UFC right now, 145 pounds, a lot of killers at the top. This man has emerged out of the pack and gets his much-deserved title shot here tonight.
From the moment he got to the UFC, he told us we were viewing someone that could make an impact, a future champion that will remind us of the great featherweight champs Max Holloway, Jose Aldo Jr. He said, I am special. I will be a champion one day. Tonight, he gets the opportunity. Let's see if he can cash in.
Now, it appeared as though the weight cut was a little bit difficult. He did not want to hear that noise, but that is behind him, and we'll see how it goes for him here on Saturday night. Well, there have been so many great undisputed featherweight champions in UFC history. Max Holloway, Jose Aldo, Alexander Volkanovski, and this is the latest entrant, another guy who people believe could be just as special.
John, think about the names that you just listed. These are three of the greatest names the sport has ever seen. And this man is starting to build a resume where he stands alongside some of the greatest featherweight champions of all time. He is just a beast of an athlete. He is a beast of a champion, and he believes that tonight it will just be another notch on the belt as he keeps his championship belt.
We asked him in the fighter meeting, is this title challenger the toughest fight of your career? He smiled and said no comment. We'll see later tonight. Charles Oliveira has stepped inside the octagon. He is ready to fight. Our tale of the tape for this featherweight championship fight. We send it inside the octagon. We find Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Featherweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, presenting the challenger, Giga Chikadze. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, Charles the Bronx Oliveira.
And there's Herb Dean, who will handle the action inside the octagon. Right, early round action here, and let us see what the striker out of Georgia, Giga Chikadze, has to offer. Outside the octagon, this man has a foundation to raise money for cancer, one of the best human beings on this roster. As far as the in-octagon stuff, a scary proposition for any of the elite lightweights. You know about the liver kick, as he calls the Giga kick. This man has every strike in the book, as a lot of his featherweight opposition can attest. And if he can win this fight tonight, ideally by knockout, may get a title fight before the end of the year. Always busy here in the clinch, lands a nice punch there. There's the leg kick, that one checked by Chikadze. Early round action here, Charles Oliveira pressing forward, guard high, in constant pursuit of his foe.
Yeah, classic Muay Thai, man. Lifting that knee to draw out your reaction, and if you give him too big a reaction, he will start you with that beautiful left hook. The guy has tremendous power, and he sets up his strikes like not many guys in the UFC, or not many people in the UFC.
His misses are entertaining. Taken down here by Giga Chikadze. Oh, and he locks up a triangle. That looks tight, DC.
It's very tight. And now he's just got to start passing the arm across, pulling down.
Oh, how good is that as he gets out?
That is great submission defense, keeping everything short and not allowing his opponent to get the submission victory.
Can't get it. Good awareness by the defensive fighter. All right, dominant position for him here, full mount. If you're the bottom fighter, better start moving those hips, DC.
Oh, you got to start moving those hips. What you should do initially, right, is start to push at the knees. Push at the hips, create some distance, shrimp, and try to recollect half guard. Half guard sucks, but it's much better than being mounted fully by your opponent.
Oh, big left hook there. All right, so able to get the hands going once again. He lands another punch. Nice work on the feet by Chikadze.
Body shot.
Really good job by the fighter to land that kick.
These ones
Bring up over the top. This fight's going to be over, DC.
What a great way of mixing up his attack. He didn't stay the course. He mixed it up. He went high when his opponent thought he was going low, and now he's got him hurt very badly. Oh, big elbow.
Right now they separate. Trying to establish that jab once again. Oh, how good is this? Both men going for the finish.
Big right hand.
What a start. All right, so that is that round in the books. Chikadze's got a cut to deal with above the eye, or perhaps better put, the cut man has got to deal with it. We'll see if he can stop the bleeding.
The only reason we lost it is because you're waiting on him. I need you to be fit.
All right, so there's the end of the round. He stayed committed to doing damage upstairs and landed a seminal blow in that round.
It was accumulation of those strikes. He kept hitting him over and over to the head. Eventually, he found the one that really did damage his opponent.
You ready to fight? Ready.
Round 2 underway. All right, so as this next round gets underway, hopefully the good action we saw in the last round will continue. Both fighters certainly had their ups and downs, both got the offense going, but now we'll see if one fighter or the other can really take control of what has been a very close fight thus far. Well, hard to imagine we would get this late in the fight and have the BJJ practitioner not attempt a single takedown. What gives?
I have no idea. He's not even tried to get this fight to the ground. I don't know what's happening. Or maybe something happened earlier in the fight that's deterred him from fighting the fight that we have come to expect from this guy. I mean, I cannot believe what we are watching.
All right, well, he continues to manhandle him here on the ground. Now maybe trying to get to a choke position here, DC.
Nice transition.
All right, closed guard now. You got to be careful, though. He's got a lot of submissions off his back. Ooh, good movement to avoid that strike from the top. Well, hard to win fights in mixed martial arts from the bottom, but nice work here in that position by Oliveira. Trying to guard pass here. Not today.
No, it ain't happening. Good job understanding the transition.
Posture's up now and lands a devastating strike to the head. Trying to pass the guard here, but a nice job by the bottom fighter defensively.
Bottom fighter did a fantastic job of following with his hips, making sure he blocked any attempt to get past his guard.
Closed guard here. He's very comfortable here working off his back, DC. Chikadze getting touched here repeatedly with these ground and pound strikes from the top. Referee's not going to bail you out. Nicely done.
And there you go, again, half guard.
All right, right into side control here. Oh, he's trying to pin that arm in the triangle now. Oh, tense moment here. That arm triangle's tight.
Oh, man, that was slick.
Just work. I'm starting this up. You need to work.
Well, defense doesn't always win championships in MMA, but how about the submission defense tonight, thwarting one attempt after the next?
Yeah, and the fact that he's just constantly under attack tells you he was very prepared for the type of fighter that he was in front of. He knew there would be some type of submissions coming his way. He was ready to defend them, and he has done that beautifully.
$30 seconds to go in round 2. 20 seconds to go round 2. Posture's up. Ooh, and he lands a brutal strike to the head. 2 rounds in the books.
All right, take a seat, man. Deep breath. Respira ahí. Senta ahí. Breathe into the nose, out the mouth. All right, ahí. Tomo agua ahí. Olha, escuta. The kicks are looking good.
All right, now we check out some of the action from that previous round, DC. How about the display of striking?
Just high level. I mean, you would think that we're watching a K1 level kickboxing match opposed to being in the UFC. Both displayed great technical skills, unbelievable striking.
You ready to fight? Ready.
Round 3 of a possible 5.
Beautiful jab there by the champ.
Big strike lands.
Big strike lands. Now he looks to try to chase down that big. Kick right hand.
Oh, good.
Oh, guillotine, guillotine here.
Oh, gotta protect your neck. Guillotine choke is locked in.
How in the world did he escape that submission?
We'll see if he postures up and can get some of his ground strikes going here. Ooh, looks like it might be locked in.
Once he gets you going, he's...
Oh, looks tight to me. Oh, he escapes.
He got out. I mean, wow, that is great submission defense.
Well, not a guy you want on top of you. Ground and pound strikes piling up here. Good work by Oliveira.
Yes, smart adjustment, yep.
Landing strikes nicely here from top position. Oliveira's back in half guard.
Another strike gets through from the top position.
All right, right into side control. Upper body strength figures to be put to good use here.
Yes, absolutely. And you got to look for his opponent to turn back into him. He should chase guillotine, but the opponent turns to the opposite side. He can take his back, throw his hooks in, try to choke, or flatten him out and just go for the finish.
Outstanding ground and pound here. Somewhat of a lost art in MMA, at least in terms of making sure that every strike counts. Not an issue for him.
He's making every single one of them count. The ref will help you here. Just as the referee will never take a guy out of mountain, they will not take a guy off of your back. You have to get him out of this position.
Oliveira's in half guard.
Beautiful ground strikes landed.
Side control now, and certainly I would think more offensive options for the bottom fighter than in the half guard.
Absolutely more offensive options, because now you can just start to get away. You can just go to a wrestle stand-up. Get to your knees, post your hands, don't allow him to get his hooks in, right? Really be aware of the hooks. But get to your hands, stand up, fight the hands, break away and escape. But it's so much more free-flowing than a half guard in the side control, because all you need to do is just get the opponent's body up, because his legs are just... Yeah, he's trying to get to the Darce here.
Well, it looks like that Darce is tight.
Great submission defense on full display by the opponent. Great defense by this fighter.
"15 seconds remain in the round. Oliveira getting work here from the top. Let's see if he goes for a sweep to try to get back to his feet. Ooh, right into side control, DC.
This is where you want to be now, because you get to make your opponent decide. They try to turn back into you, you can attack guillotine. If they turn away to try to get to your knees, you throw your hooks in, and you got all your rear choke submissions.
All right, a lot of high-level highlights from that last round, DC. Take us through the replay.
If he fought like this, I would be comfortable entering him into a K1 level kickboxing competition. He's that good at finding and landing those kicks at will. He needs to continue to do this as the fight goes on.
You ready? You ready?
Fourth round now, fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. All right, fourth round is now underway as we get to the championship rounds. What is a fighter's mindset when you get to this 16th minute of a fight?
This is when you understand that nothing is ever going to be harder. This is the hardest round in fighting. This is going to really test your will and your desire to become champion.
Oh, hammer fist here by Oliveira.
Yep, and he's got him secured in a half guard now. getting them out here.
Really good job to land these strikes from top position. All right, so he's got the body locked down here, DC, or so it appears. This is not a guy you want anywhere near your back. Oliveira's really pressing now, and he's got his opponent's belly flat on the mat.
This is where he wants to be.
Lands a big elbow there.
You can't take all those unanswered strikes. They don't have to be that damaging. You just got to move.
Oh, he's got it locked in tight now. All right, so that opened up a cut around his eye area.
He hasn't moved his head well. He was taking shots too clean, and now a cut has opened up.
All right, he's sort of hanging out here unguarded, DC. Not sure if he's trying to bait him in or what, but not great body language here. Oliveira's back in full mount. All right, so inside the open guard of his opponent. You got to be careful playing around for too long here on the ground with this guy. Oh, you got to love the ground and pound strikes here. All right, right into side control here, DC. Biggest difference between half guard and side control.
Well, side control to me feels like a little bit less control because now my legs aren't really doing anything anymore. Now I'm controlling you with my upper body.
All right, so he's setting up for submission here. Oh, that looks tight to me. It looks like it might be locked in.
Yeah, it looks like it's done. It looks like it's done.
Oh, he got out. All right, north-south position now. We'll see how he chooses to proceed. Fourth round here, less than a minute to go. Well, the ground and pound has been on point tonight. Good work here by Oliveira. I love watching this guy move on the ground. Another nice transition there.
Such a high-level grappler. You don't see that very often.
And right into side control. Oliveira's back to the north-south.
Nice defense.
All right, trying to pass here. As Glover Teixeira might say, not today.
Not today.
Stop,
Great
stop,
job
stop.
of following with the hips, keeping those legs locked and keeping them in full guard.
All right, so the round is over. You see, obviously, the fighter has a cut on his cheek sustained in that round, but better to be below the eye than above it. The cut man is in there trying to close it up. All right, well, no surprise to see that eye continue to be targeted. Some replays from the previous round in which a lot of damage was doled out.
Well, the cut man's got some work to do to try to give this kid an opportunity to stay in the fight, because the reality is he has taken far too many shots to the eye, and now he's dealing with a nasty cut. He has got to change something.
You ready to fight? Ready.
Fifth and final round. Oh, he lands another strike to the body, really starting to pile up these body. That's the biggest fight thus far. How's his opponent still standing?
I have no idea. This fight is supposed to be over. And it might not be over now, but it's going to be over very soon.
Well, no denying that he rocked him, but couldn't quite get the finish.
He hurt him real bad, but he couldn't find the shot that would put him to sleep. He threw a lot of punches, but he couldn't get the one to land on the button that would end the night.
Oliveira's in half guard. All right, working out of side control here. His opponent trying to control posture, but you got to be careful here. Going for a submission now, or so it appears.
He's looking to finish, John.
Oh, that is tight. Could be the beginning of the end.
He's taking off right now.
Oh, submission defense on full display there.
He said that he was very aware of what this guy brought to the octagon, and it showed in that defense.
All right, right into side control. Upper body strength figures to be put to good use here.
Yes, absolutely. And you got to look for his opponent to turn back into him. He should chase guillotine, but the opponent turns to the opposite side. He can take his back, throw his hooks in, try to choke, or flatten him out and just go for the finish.
Working out of the half guard here. Well, we may have the best cut men and women in the business, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to do much with that cut. It continues to widen with every passing strike.
And you're fighting a great fighter. It's hard to deal with the damage of the cut while dealing with the level of the fighter in front of you. Right now, you've got to do something different to try and change the way that this fight is playing out.
This is some exhausting work, man.
I mean, it is so tiring to be fighting in this way. So much wrestling, so much grappling, expending all this energy trying to hold the guy down. I mean, no takedown is not fought. No reversal is not fought. Everything they're doing is fought to the very last minute before it gets given up.
1 minute to go in the fight.
Great job finding his shots from the top position.
Oliveira's back in full mount.
He's very accurate in the ground and pound, and it's showing because he's landing so consistently. That is tight. Armbar.
Oh, he got out. How good is that?
This guy is so aware. He never leaves anything long to allow for himself to get subbed.
Back and forth action right until the final horn. That one's going to hold up in the Fight of the Year conversation. All right, so they came in unquestionably the two best in the world in this division, and they showed you exactly why here tonight. A lot of people may think the challenger did enough. For me, slightly into the champion to retain his title.
I agree with you, John. I thought the champion did just enough to keep his belt. And this has nothing to do with you got to beat the champ to get the belt. No, the champion outworked him in the big spots, and he should retain his title.
Official decision now in. The buff has it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 49-46, 50-45, and 50-45. Declaring the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, Charles "The Bronx" Oliveira!
All right, so we congratulate Charles Oliveira on yet another UFC win, but this one, somewhat surprisingly, by decision, he goes to the cards.
So many thought that Charles Oliveira, if